Number 5. Grr. I'm glad I got to get to this one. It's again more of like dark atmospheres and such is the majority of this list, as well as dark events within the game itself. So, number 5 then, rated T for teens, Jade Cocoon. With the booklet. Yeah. So now, infinite monsters. Enter the world of Jade Cocoon, story of Tamamayu as Levent, a cocoon master. You will engage powerful monsters in deadly one-on-one combat. As the magic and talon clashes of these battles turn to your favor, you can call on the mystic cocoon powers to capture your fallen foe. Once captured, these mighty creatures will be the key to unlocking the curse that has overcome your village. Custom combine captured creatures into minions of powerful new monsters. Millions of powerful new monsters. Beautifully rendered backgrounds create a world rich in texture and tone. Pit your creation against a friend in arena mode. So, where to start with this one? Well, I guess the thing I would start with is, this is one of my favorite PlayStation games, period. Like, I get to combine monsters into something interesting looking, and I can use them to fight other shit. And, no, it's not Pokemon. Again, Pokemon, you just end up getting a Charizard. In Pokemon, you get a Charizard, which is the correct option, and then you end up going through the game, killing all the bosses and shit. As for this one, it's basically build a monster, and it gets fucking awesome. So, let's see. I could actually look in this for once. Spinning cocoons yields our daily bread. Prayer brings purification. These are the laws for living in harmony with the forest. Yeah. You know what? And here's actually an overview of the story that I can just read out to you. The people of Peril are being terrorized by horrible monsters known as minions from the curse of Alkiana. Though the villagers fought the minions, they still could coexist with the forest. But that was until the Onibubu, giant bugs, or giant locusts, actually, yeah, right here, the locusts of apocalypse, attacked the village without warning, plunging many of the villagers into a deep and endless sleep. Cyrus once had a great hunter, known as a Cocoon Master, who could capture forest minions and soothe their miserable hearts. But the Cocoon Master disappeared several years ago, and his whereabouts are still unknown. But all hope is not lost. The village has proclaimed young Levant the new Cocoon Master and sent him into the forest in a desperate attempt to save them. During this difficult and lonely quest, Levant will learn much of the world around him, the origin of the curse of Alcana, the power of the forest god Ilrim, the brilliance of his divine minion, the cursed legacy of the Nagi people, and even the truth of his own fate. As he ventures into the depths of the forest, Levant will face countless ordeals as he fights the minions. His holy tasks are to restore nature's lost harmony, decide the fate of the world, and learn to protect and care for the one he loves. So yeah, that would end up being the basic summary of what is the game's story. But to go into detail of what you actually do. So, first off, you can go through a tutorial battle and get yourself a one monster that you can use to combine with anything else and gain infinite power afterward. But yeah, so going through that, we end up having ourselves enough of the whereabouts from this game for us to start with. But so Levant, you can name him whatever you want. So it starts off with you just having to go through prologue. And then you can eventually go into the forest and actually play the game. Which honestly would have been better if there was no prologue thing. Like, it would have just been better if it was a cutscene type thing. Instead of as they did do. But, yeah. So you have to basically press X to continue off the story. Press X to continue, and then you're at the game. So then, we end up having Levant go into the forest, and he finds a weirdo who is called the Blue Cocoon Master, Chorus. He'll give you your first minion to control, assuming you agree to it, which would be kind of stupid if you don't, because then otherwise you would have to rely on your strength alone to be enough to get a minion's health down low enough for you to capture them. Now again, unlike Pokemon, I'm looking down at you, Ghost. But unlike Pokemon, you are able to combine these creatures into multiple different variations of what they originally were. And so you can give one creature that already has a badass look wings, just so long as you manipulate everything the right way. But yeah. Ugh.
Spooky Scary Cameraman says it's basically a prototype of designer babies. It's a touchy topic.
Okay, so again, like, so I guess the main story here is you end up going to try to look for something known as the Calabash Herb, something that allows you to restore people from a deep slumber. And so in order to do that, first you go into section number 1, where you talk to what is effectively your new master type dude. Next, you must end up going into the second section to fight a Birdman, which if you really want to, you can grind him and you can grind battles against him and get basically some sort of item that allows your character health, which is another difference to Pokemon. You, the player, end up being able to punch the things in the face until they are near low HP. But anyway, so fighting Kikinok, you end up being able to get yourself a good ways into friendship. He calls it friendship. That kind of like in the sense of Journey to the West. Monkey fights people to become friends. Like, you end up having Piggy. Sun Wukong ended up fighting Piggy to become friends with Pig, as well as Sandy. But not the Dragon Horse. Actually, never mind, they did fight the Dragon Horse too. Yeah, Journey to the West is weird. But anyways, continuing on. So, after you end up fighting Kikinok, beating him gives you Calabash Powder, which he ends up telling you he got that stuff from someone else, and tells you where they are in the third area. And then after you get through the third area, you talk to a bunch of greedy, hairy midgets.
Midgets are a sensitive topic.
Well, they aren't exactly midgets. They are called the forest people. Like, imagine fur balls with lips about the size of your face. I can actually show you. It would be right down there. Right down at the bottom there. Can you see it? Yeah, right there. That's them. But that is in the kind of Ghibli style. Which, by the way, when it ends up doing like animation, it's typically in Ghibli style, which is just amazing to look at. The way I ended up finding this game was on one of the PlayStation demo discs. You know, where it has a bunch of demos on it. It ended up being an addicting game from just a demo, where you could only be in the first area, and I ended up just trying to grow an ungodly creature with 3 of the 4 elements that you could use, because sadly the one element that was not there was Earth in the demo. Like, you could not get Earth. Now, in the actual game you can get all 4 there, but that anyway, so yeah, you can kind of look around for stuff and trying to look for something here. Oh yeah, warp pads, which basically allow you to go from the end of the level to somewhere closer to the beginning, more likely the halfway point instead. Or, in the third area, it takes you from the end of one dead end to the end of a different dead end. Now, so I always ended up liking that first water dragon thing that you get at the beginning of the game. Now, there's 2 ways to level those things up. Either you assimilate something of equal or greater level to it, or you end up assimilate or you end up killing something of equal or greater level. If you can do it with creatures of lower level, but honestly it's somewhat ill-advised because it ends up being kind of weak in the end, like not really worth your time afterwards. But yeah, you can buy things in town. You can ask your wife to spin cocoons into silk, and then you can sell the silk. Depending on the level of creature, depends on the type of silk. Yeah, combat actions. You can either attack, summon, and defend. But if you end up summoning, you can summon a creature which has the ability to attack, use magic, use a special move, switch over to a different creature or yourself, or defend. But yeah, then you can also capture creatures you are fighting against, has you use an item on the spot, and retreat. So then, after that, I end up having the ability to I'd say pick two like if you decide to do the combining thing, take two elements that are right next to each other, and only two. Any more than that and it's kind of stupid. But anyway, so yeah, end up just having to deal with all that. Eventually when you get to the final area, which is the fourth area, after you end up getting the calabash herb, and then you have to do something stupid to trick the greedy guys to give you something else. But anyway, so in the final area, like, you have to fight 3 demons that are these weird, they have big Squidward noses, alright? Like, they have Squidward noses. That's the only way to put it. Anyway, so after beating the Squidward noses, you have to defeat the Dark Cocoon Master, which turns out to be your missing father. And then you have to kill something else and save the world. Yeah. Yeah, so like say then. Player 1 versus Player 2. Rules: the arena of space and time is an arena battle stage. It is a mode in which you can pit monsters against one another. And yeah, just traditional 2-player battle. there's a thing in here giving thanks to the U.S. team. Also, post-game, the Eternal Corridor allows you to concentrate on capturing all the force minions. The map is auto-generated, and you cannot exit through the entrance. You must use the earring of the hunter to exit. And so, yeah, then there's some concept art of some of the creatures and such in here. So, no, I could probably show you that later. Anyway, so I believe that should be it for this one. We'll probably end up going to a darker place after this. One with lots of floating rocks. Well, see you guys next time. Booga booga booga.